and welcome back to Is That Canon? After a long hiatus, we're here again to talk about all things comic book media related.
Everything. I'm obviously very comfortable tonight. It is cold. I have a hot water bottle.
It has suddenly got very cold. It has suddenly got very cold. Yeah, it's been quite a while. We've missed a lot. Everybody was sick in a rolling calendar.
Yeah, we were taking turns.
Joined as always by my two co-hosts. Brian, how you doing?
Hello, not too bad. Recovered from several things.
All the diseases.
All the diseases, all the events. So
It's been quite a few months.
Mm.
Tink, how are you?
Managing. Mending. Still have a little bit of a chest ache, but getting there. I think I'm ready to not be sick anymore.
Yeah, it takes a while to get rid of those coughs.
The coughs are killing me. Like, at the start of when I got back from my gator rest, guys, listen, the cough alone was just like glass. Every time I tried to like clear my throat or even just kind of cough in general and had in my throat, it felt like glass. I'm okay now, but I still have it. It's still there.
yeah, H1 nerd one is real, like you know,
It is.
the con crud.
But I didn't get the Rona, so my nose wasn't pregnant.
Mm.
So we didn't get blessed in our heads
Mm.
with Rona.
I did get the Rona.
Anyone got the Rona at this stage? It feels like I'm just missing out.
No,
Yeah.
you weren't missing it. To be fair, I probably had the easiest Rona out of anybody I know. I had like a slightly worse cough, and that was about it. I only
That's
tested myself. I only tested myself because the guy I live with got it, and I was like, I should probably test myself. And then, yeah, a week
Remember
inside.
your nose. Oh my god, so you're expecting twins. That's amazing.
So yeah, we've missed quite a bit. A lot has happened since we last convened to talk about stuff.
So many
Mhm.
movies dropped, so many trailers dropped.
A lot of trailers. DC now have new bosses,
So many games
and
been done.
a new universe runner, as it's been called.
Yeah, we were saying earlier. I think Zaslav needs his own episode. There's so much to that story that, like, if I start this entire thing, is going to be just me ranting about the.
Oh
the
yeah, well
ownership of
well, there's
DC.
one guy that ruined the whole thing, and then James Gunn's taken over, and I think
Yeah, so
he might
maybe-
do a good job.
Maybe,
There's always one guy.
especially.
I think James
Yeah.
Gunn's pretty talented.
Well, it's weirdly, now that I think about it, it's weirdly similar to like the origin of Marvel Studios when you had Ike Perlmutter, who everyone hated and was annoying everyone, and Kevin Feige, who everyone loved and wished was in
Yeah.
full control. So fingers crossed it ends the way
He
that
was-
ended.
He was the guy who didn't want to spend any money if he could.
He was I think it was the premiere of The Avengers, which is one of the biggest films of all time, and he was given out to people because they gave 2 Cokes to a journalist. Like,
Oh, for God's sake, man. It's
Yeah,
just
that's the
Coca-Cola.
kind of him.
yeah, that's
He's
him.
just a penny pincher at his core. Yeah.
He also
Kevin-
sued some of his neighbors for stealing his DNA, allegedly.
I hadn't heard that story.
Wait, hold on.
Mm.
Wait, hold on.
Mm.
I think it feels like the Coke cans and the DNA feels somewhat linked, except for see it? See the rabbit hole boring? I see it.
DNA everywhere.
There's a conspiracy in here somewhere, I know it.
But yeah, imagine like I'm in charge of the biggest multimedia franchise in the world. Let's try not to spend any money on this though.
Oh no,
Mhm.
just pinch the pennies on a Coca-Cola. I bet
And
they're like
Kevin's
30
like-
cans.
Kevin's like blank check, blank check, blank check. Like
Cans.
Kevin's like blank check, blank check, blank check.
Just give me everyone.
Get it
Everything
done.
I do makes money. I want every actor, all of them.
Do me next. Me next. Me next.
So yeah, with a list of things to go through, we may as well start with Sandman.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to
you've
open
seen
with a
it.
confession.
Mm.
You didn't
No,
watch it, did he?
I
No.
haven't watched
See,
it.
like, this is the
I,
problem. I don't know why we even have you on the show. You
Look.
don't watch anything.
I would look if this show was
You're
going, I would have
ridiculous.
watched it. But I forgot about it. I literally it came out, and that week I missed it, and then I forgot about it, and I
It's
probably haven't watched for
been
next week.
months.
Mm.
Yeah, and I haven't thought about it since the week it came out.
I need to Google this. What year are we in? Hold on.
You've seen it, Tink, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
So I
all right.
wasn't really into it beforehand. beforehand, it was very well done. Had that supernatural fantasy-ness to it. It actually kind of made me kind of feel like a little bit like what's the name of that thing with David Bowie? It's a little bit
Labyrinth, yeah.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like that, so I had that kind of nostalgia feel.
It's kind of from the same time period.
You're right, and that's
It actually, yeah.
So that's what really got me hooked into it. Is that kind of I think it was more of the tone of how they said a lot of things in it that made it feel like it. But yeah, that's what really pulled me in. I thought it was very good. Something I wasn't really overly interested before. I liked it. I watched it, unlike some people.
I've read it.
Happens every time we plan something. You made me watch Blade.
I watched Blade.
What was I doing? When it was?
I have no idea.
What year was it?
But he doesn't do the work.
There's a particular episode in Sandman. I think it's episode 4 when it like just kicks up a gear.
Yeah, because it has that pacing that I'm kind of, obviously I'm patient with it sometimes, but I'm also kind of, if the pacing's good with the stories, giving me like a little bit of layers, a little bit, I'll stay in. So I felt like I was getting a little bit faded out with it, and obviously with the kick off a little further. And it always seems to be a lot of these series. Notice that the pacing would be slow enough that maybe to swap things out, but we on Netflix already had this all pre-moved, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Sandman,
it was all in one go. Yeah.
Sandman is slow.
Yeah, the book's slow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it starts pretty slow.
Yeah. But it's also, I don't know, maybe it's just me that I always feel like they always do a slow first 3 episodes and then they kick off in the fourth. To tie it in together. Maybe
Someone in
it's
the
just
chat
the
says
story
you're a little.
formula.
Yeah, someone in the chat says you're a little quiet. Think.
Am I?
Yeah, you're not to me, but.
I'm coming up on the speaker. Maybe I just need to do a little
Nice mic.
Do you like my mic?
I do.
This is the HyperX. Shout out to the lads at HyperX. I got this for free at GamerFest. Oh, not GamerFest. Zambia I-69. Good. They just handed us a load of boxes. Is that better? Hi. First person ever to complain. I'm not loud enough.
They won't know.
Well
They
done.
won't know for like
You've
another
won the
20
secret
seconds.
word of the day. Alright, is that better? Am I loud enough?
You're always loud enough to make. Oh, that sounds really bad.
I've never thought of you as too quiet.
Quiet.
On my Steam account, my caption is AKA the noise, so I know what I am. Okay, I know what I am.
Love it.
Well,
August
anyway.
5th, it's 2 months ago. You fucking. Sorry, that's our one
not-
F. I dropped it.
Look,
there.
I'll tell you this now. I felt real bad. I was, how did I forget about this show? I actually think when I was really
Don't sit
excited.
there and shake your head. You could have told us this earlier in the chat.
I did tell Brian this.
You did actually tell me, yeah.
You did.
Then I was like,
Earlier.
then it'll be fun to bring it up to think in the podcast because you
I'm
should
going
react.
to bring up a list. And I gotta make sure that like you click on it, even if it comes up as like you actioning something, I'll have it all audited. Straight to my Gilda, where Ado clicks a button and if his task is done, because it's gonna be homework.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was sick, I don't really like watching things. I played like a lot of video games in the past couple of months.
I couldn't concentrate anything more than 90 minutes of anything. That was my own issue.
I've watched very little. I watched She-Hulk. Want to talk about She-Hulk?
Hang on.
We have
Oh, sorry.
Hang on.
I thought we were in the moving past it. Sorry.
All right.
I thought it was a class.
Just
We're
want to
live.
say, Jenna
We're
Louise
live.
Coleman as
Why?
Joanna Constantine
Yes.
could have just been like, it could have just been like, Fenshep, but she like made a whole new character to herself, and it's great. And
Yeah.
you've both frozen on me, so I have no idea if you
No,
can
we're
hear
not
me.
frozen. You
We
keep
can hear you
talking.
fine.
Okay.
And you're talking.
All right. Yeah, I thought she was like. I mean, I'm pretty much in love with Jenna Coleman anyway, but I thought she was really, really good.
Is that why the business has gone out of the country? I understand now.
It
I understand why.
She's good in everything she's in.
Yeah, she's good in everything she's in. She really is. She's brilliant in
Yeah.
everything she's in. She's
Yeah,
brilliant in
one of
this.
those
And it was the potential weak point of the show because, it's an important character, but she just turned it into a new character, which is related to the other character, and it works
Making it her
really well.
own?
Yeah, makes it her
how
own.
did- How does she play it? Like,
She's like, she's got the shared hit. There's something bad in her past with a spell that went wrong, right? So
Yeah.
that's there. and she is still a bit of a mess, but there's something a bit aristocratic about her as well, which
Same
isn't
Okay.
there
here.
with yeah, yeah, which
With
isn't
cock of the
there with
eyebrow.
yeah. So like that's really cool. It's just an added layer to the and they actually explain it. She has a say great grandmother who is Lady Joanna Constantine. Constantine. I always say the wrong one. I can't remember. Constantine. All right.
Constantine,
Yeah.
I will always
yeah.
say.
Who encounters Dream in a flashback as well. So like it explains why that is. But it's really good. Just wanted to say, you should probably look at if you like your high fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Go check out the Sandman. It's really good.
I
From
remember
episode 4 on, slow then, but up from that point.
there was another series that I was going to say that was also fantasy, and I got a little bit into it. Like I can't remember the name of it, but it's gone. But yeah, for fantasy, this kind of fantasy supernatural feel of the tone of what Sandman, what we got on Netflix, wasn't always the thing I would always go for, but because of you, you're like, you really need to watch this, and I really just went, okay, well, I'll stick through it, and I'm glad I did. So it kind of opens up more of me kind of like wandering down that alley a little bit more.
Well, it'll always be one of those like top 10 comic series that's on every list. It's a masterpiece, really.
It's good because it has its complexes. Alright, anyway.
Yeah,
And the death episode. Oh, the death episode is so good. Like where he meets her for the first time. I mean, it's lifted directly from the yeah, you know that moment.
Oh,
Stop
could have
it.
watched this.
Oh, yeah. There's like death's lovely, and then a horrible thing happens, and that's
No,
death.
and
Like you know.
we're not gonna ruin it. Shh, you need to
Yeah,
people
yeah.
We'll watch the episode, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
comments
so I think
below,
I'm-
like,
I am done on Sandman though. Like
but you
Okay,
are warned. You are warned. If you're sensitive, you are warned.
it's a tough episode.
It
If you-
is.
Just
yeah.
That's why.
really quickly, because we mentioned high fantasy, at least watch Lord of the Rings show.
Yep.
Yes.
Opinions?
Okay. Go first, Brian.
Oh, jeez. Well, okay, first of all, I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings fan in general. I did find the mock Irish stuff distracting.
I love your man. What's his name? Lenny Henry doing that kind of a bit of a Dublin accent. I was like, nice. That kind of bit into the countryside Dublin, bit Mead, but yeah. Relatable.
Yeah, it's just. Oh.
It was great.
It was very slow, very long, but it's Lord of the Rings, so isn't it supposed to be okay? It's very okay. There was one day I got confused if I was supposed to be watching Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, and that doesn't say much for either of the series.
They
To
were
be
out
honest
at the
with
same
you.
time
But-
as well. So and plus,
Yeah,
House
just
of
different
Dragon
days.
has done tremendous.
Yeah, Hot D's next on my list. I hope that's another that's
Also,
over.
something he hasn't watched yet.
Yeah, I was waiting till it was over, now it's over. I actually have it downloaded. That's
Nice.
the intention.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, Rings of Power is a show that I nearly stopped watching after the second episode. I was like, this is
The
so
pacing.
boring and dull. And then I thought it kind of kept getting better and better and better. Never to say that it got excellent, but by the end of it, I was like, this isn't bad.
It felt like Galadriel was. It felt like, okay, we're gonna get a little bit more over. That's how I felt like I was hanging on it. Okay, we're eventually gonna go to the Southlands. Okay, when are we going to the Southlands? Okay, everyone's getting ready. Piss off with the elf. Grant. Father's in the fucking tower. When are we going to the Southlands? And I already called it who your fucking mom was gonna be anyway.
I
And it's your
did not.
sword.
I was like, this
I
is
said it
it's so
moment I seen it
random.
there. I was like, moment seen there, and the little drops of like that dialogue. I said like, I go by many names, and like and I was like, calling it right now. He's Soren, and he's like, no.
Yeah,
I was like, 100%. Guy out of nowhere shows up on a
Yeah.
fucking boat.
You see, it was when the Dark Elf didn't recognize him. It was, oh, it can't be Sauron then. The
No,
Dark Elf
'cause the
didn't
other
recognize him.
guy, it's like, no way.
For me, when this dude shows up in the forge and he's there, like, do you know what you should do? You should make a little ring. Making a little ring's a really good idea. Then I kind of said,
Oh,
that's
at that stage, at that stage, I'd realized
You-
from the last
yeah,
episode.
I was ages away until that moment, and himself turned to me and he was like, Jesus, you knew it early on. I was like,
Yeah.
I just called it, like, we're watching another episode of, I think Chris Pratt did, like, some mad, like, real serious drama where apparently the the government was giving them brain cancer or whatever, and he goes on a spree killing all
Famous
these
Super
people.
Mario voice actor, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I have it there on the list. I'll send it over to you and I'll share it with everyone else. But anyway, at the start of that, I literally called it. I was like, it's his best friend. And he was like, no way. And I was like, I am telling you now, we stuck it all the way through, week after week. And by the end of it, who was it? Best friend. Yeah, I just see it a mile away and I just ruin it for myself. And that's literally where I was like, when are we going to the Southlands? That girl, you always have a sourpuss on you. I enjoyed it.
That might be my biggest problem with that
I don't think
show.
it was worth the money
There's
that they
so
spent,
many
though.
unlikable characters.
It's always a problem, isn't it, with any program that's like that?
Yeah, there's so many unlikable characters.
I will say I like how they did the dwarfs and Dwarf Kingdom. That was pretty good. I will give
Durin
that
is the
props.
best. Durin and his wife are the best thing about the show.
Oh yeah, brilliant. The wife is fantastic in that. The
Yeah,
Hobbits
she's
as well.
great.
People were giving out online about stereotyping Irish people to little hobbits and all this shit, and I was like, motherfucker, please, I'm 5 foot. I can't run away from this.
I kept thinking, well,
You know
at least
what
they're
I
gonna have
mean?
a glow up
Just
eventually.
Stop. Like, it was just like, and people got mad ridiculous with it. Like, mad ridiculous. I thought it was great through the whole like idea of it. I was like, yeah, why not? Yeah, sure, be a hobbit. I'm 5 foot. I'll just sink right in. No problem, right? I'm already called a hobbit anyway. I wasn't offended, as I'm sick enough for that.
So yeah.
But anyway,
You
I'll
okay
give
with
it.
that?
How many patties are we giving? And Sandman, of course. Sandman, how many? I would give Sandman a 9 out of 10 because maybe I don't know the lore, but I did really enjoy it.
I'd have to give it something similar. Like, it was, again, from like episode 4 right to the end, it felt like 1 hour. It felt like 3 hours before then. Felt like 1 hour from that point on. Like, once the story starts really moving,
Eats everything
the
in.
Corinthian and all that stuff, it was just really, really good. Like, so
Super
yeah, 9 out
easy
of
watch.
10. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it like the first, the reason I'm taking a point off is the first couple of episodes. You're like, okay,
Driving.
we get it. Yeah,
I was just
you are a
being
very
patient.
moody man who's, yeah, you're a moody man who's looking for his dust. We get it, like, you know.
Who isn't? Who isn't on a
But
Friday night?
who isn't? Yeah. But that's
It
what
does
the book
seem-
was like. The book's the
It
exact
seems like
same.
when they
the
have
first-
when they have Neil Gaiman involved in these things, they tend to go real well.
Yeah, he seems to be good at
What
it.
was that last show? The one that the book that he wrote with.
Good Omens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was superb.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know this-
brilliant.
Do you either of you know the book Good Omens? I haven't seen the series fully yet.
I've seen the series. but
I-
now know the book.
Yeah.
I've
Is there a
bought the
thing
book
in the
on
book that-
Audible.
Okay, I'm not sure. It might be in the series too. The book of prophecies, the nice and accurate
Yeah.
prophecies.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You know this new film, The Banshee of Inisherin?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
call
Okay.
Carol in
So I
there.
saw it last night. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Inishmore looks lovely in it. Everyone's acting a blinder. But there's a bit where this old woman
Okay.
prophesizes something bad is going to happen, and she actually says, "I was going for accurate, not nice," after making a prophecy. Like that has to be a
Okay.
reference, right?
It has to be, yeah. That
Yeah.
book's one of the most influential books in general.
Yeah.
It would
Oh, I
be.
love it. Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have bought it on Audible. That I just haven't got to it yet.
Oh man, I need to see that movie though.
It's good. Recommend it heartily.
Yeah, but yeah, Neil Gaiman, good at everything. I love Stardust.
Just love Stardust.
Stardust, yeah.
Yeah, I love that film. It's such a fun romp of a movie.
Even
so
his Doctor Who episodes are good.
Yeah, the TARDIS wife.
Yeah, TARDIS wife.
That's
Yeah.
that's really really good.
I've forgotten the name of it. The TARDIS
It's,
wife.
no, I think it's the Doctor's wife, is it not?
Doctor's wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
TARDIS wife.
Oh yeah, he wrote an episode of Doctor Who where he turned the TARDIS into like a woman, and like it was him and the
Great.
Doctor, her and the Doctor arguing like a married couple. It's an incredible episode. It's really really fun.
And then how does he get back into his?
There's a
She
MacGuffin
eventually-
there's a MacGuffin that makes her a person, and then there's a MacGuffin that puts her back into being a TARDIS.
Such a weird thing. Let me get back inside you.
I think that joke might have been made at one point in the episode.
You're welcome.
But yeah, it's great. Speaking of great, I really like She-Hulk.
Shulk. Sing it with me, guys.
No, but I'm happy that you're enjoying yourself.
I did. Thanks.
So yeah, She-Hulk came out, 9 episodes. Way more like a sitcom than anything Marvel has done yet. Full of really fun characters, and I really enjoyed myself watching this show. It was like this little light-hearted thing that I had every week to enjoy with my lunch. I feel like somebody else should talk.
Okay. Right?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I thought, all right, the last 3 episodes were some of my favorite TV Marvel stuff.
Is it
Full
because
stop.
our lad was in it?
Partially, yeah. His episode was great.
Just ask
And
him on a date. I'm sure Charlie's great, man.
well, it's right. So they do this thing where like everyone's going, "Oh, Marvel are gonna mess up Daredevil," because the Daredevil fans are the Marvel equivalent of Snyder fans.
Gatekeeping.
Right, and then they go, "Okay, well, we're gonna have a hallway fight, and then we're gonna have him actually act more like the comic book Daredevil than the Netflix one ever did, because he's hitting on She-Hulk, which is exactly what that character would do in that situation."
Being a small
And
and
that-
fuck. Sorry.
Great episode.
Way
Tatiana
less about
Maslany.
Catholic than
Yeah,
that Netflix show.
Yes.
and like I loved the hallway fight because they got the Billy Club in like properly,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was just all so good. And then what was the next episode was
where they're-
great as well.
The bit where they're still talking, he's still fighting while they discuss the guy's legal case is one of my
Yeah.
favorite bits they've ever
I just
done.
rewatched his shows. I just rewatched legal shows.
Oh yeah,
So-
oh yeah. The other episode I wanted to mention is the therapy one. That's a great bit of television as well.
Yes.
And that was written by Zeb Wells, which is just making me think they need to start getting comic book writers to write this stuff.
So
Oh
good.
yeah.
Yeah. He's
If you're
an
gonna have
excellent.
if you're gonna have an episode with a lot of dialogue, the comic writers just great
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
Emil
Like Zeb Wells is
Bronsky,
an exceptionally good comic book writer as well. Yeah,
Emil Bronsky,
Yeah.
what a
great character.
breakthrough star of this
Brilliant.
of the show. He's so great. Like considering that he's a completely different character. Like he's not the same character he was in that movie. Like they're not the same person.
Mm.
And I just love this. You're not really sure if he's completely genuine, but you kind of want him to be genuine. He's like kind of a nice guy,
Yeah,
but
it's
he's
this
also
underlining sleazy.
there's a little bit of there's a little bit of awful cult leader about him, even though you kind of want him to be good.
Yeah, it smells
He's like a different version of the sword. The swordsman in
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like he is sleazy, but he's actually he does nothing that means he's not a nice guy.
Yeah, there's probably a really good heart in there, but it seems like that way anyway.
Mm.
I love.
I did think it was a. Oh, go on.
Oh no, you work away.
All right. I thought it was a bit uneven up to the last 3 episodes. I thought the last 3 episodes were total killer.
I
thought it
think
was a
they
bit-
moved a lot of stuff at the start of it because they said upon
Mm.
review, like of the reviewer or whatever it was, that they said it didn't make any sense as to how she got her power, so they swapped out the first episode bit, putting that kind of explanation of the car crash or whatever in. So that's why kind of focus on that change of parent.
I wish there was a little bit more legal stuff in the show. The court cases are all a little bit super simple and solved like a little bit too. Yeah, there's everything's tied up with a bow basically. The sleazy other lawyer in his episode where they're like got him off by proving how sleazy and awful he was an incredible
like-
episode.
I truly believe he was going out with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, that was great. He's
And
such a
then
knob.
She sued the elf. She's like, "You're next."
I am that guy. But yeah, I wish there was more. I really wanted like one big court case episode, and like I hope at some stage I'll get that. I did see that the writers was like a bit hard to do legal dramas in the middle of the MCU when like nobody has really done that yet, and it's hard to know. Everything about Charlie Cox rules. He's such a good Daredevil. He's such a good Matt Murdock. Mustard costume, delighted to see it.
Beautiful to see it. Nice.
Yeah,
to see it. I thought it was
absolutely.
really good on camera, and especially when like anytime there was something that was primarily of what they were talking about or what she was talking about, the green and red tones.
Yeah.
To emphasize like who's the leader in this conversation. I'm like, I like this a lot. And then
What's the designer guy called?
oh
Luke.
Luke.
He's incredible.
So good.
He's such a little sassy bitch. It's
I
class.
love the fact that he was getting like help by your man Frogman to do like fucking suit like synthetic shit.
Yeah, when he was captive and they're just staying in everything that he says. He's great. He's absolutely great.
So good.
Exactly the
Mr.
sort of
Immortal.
person. Yeah, Mr. Immortal.
Mr.
was it?
Immortal.
That was a
You're-
good one.
You're introducing the Great Lake Avengers like this.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when it's kind of like, oh yeah, and they're in the middle of conversation, she just walks out the window
Yeah.
and a bother.
And like,
And the apple stock that he owned from like
Apple stock.
1983. And I was like, but didn't Apple come out like 1984? It's like a year or something prior. And he just bought the stock at the very, very fucking beginning of it.
the thing about this as well is my favorite MCU conspiracy theory. Do you know where the Great Lake Avengers, where Mr. Immortal first appeared? Guess which run of comic books?
Are we talking about West Coast?
Yes, West Coast Avengers is the first
West
appearance.
Coast.
John
Let's go
Byrne
down the
created
rabbit
that character.
hole.
So
What
with
am I
WandaVision
saying?
and with all
Do you-
these other series, Hawkeye,
Are you-
all these connections.
Come
Is there a
with
chance
me.
this was
There's so
Kevin
much room
Feige's
in the
favorite
rabbit
comic
hole.
growing up?
It seems that way, doesn't it? Like so much.
It does seem like West Coast Avengers could have been his
Vision Quest.
favorite comic.
Yeah, Vision Quest is basically something from West Coast Avengers as well.
He, like, wouldn't it be a case of Vision pulling all of the kids together?
We don't know. We don't know what
Yeah.
that's going to be like. Well, it looks like they've cast Biddy or Tommy for Coven of Chaos. Wiccan.
Yeah.
I always forget which is
Wiccan
which.
and Steve.
Billy, Tommy's Hulkling. Or not Hulkling.
Tommy is Speed. Yeah.
Yeah. Hulkling is a different character.
Look, there's
Billy or
Steve
Tommy,
and
that's
there's-
their face.
But I think Billy is Wiccan.
Okay.
That's in my head. That seems right.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's just go.
so
with
only
it. Comments
only
below
one
if
of them's
anyone's
going.
wrong.
Only one of them's going to be in it.
The actor, the casting announcement for one of them. So you'd expect. Well, it's magic-y. The series is going to be magic-y, so maybe it only makes sense to have Billy there. Like, who knows?
Yeah, maybe. No point in
Are
having
we
the
go-
speed
are we
run
going to
beside
get-
him during that time.
Are we going to get multiple Quicksilvers in that show? Is the real question.
Yeah, we don't have
Well,
an
if-
explanation
if
of the
we
boner.
If we
Oh.
get our way, my way, someday, maybe. I would love to see that. Your man, what's his face, that plays original Quicksilver. That would be good.
I don't remember the name of either of them.
Oh
Evan Peters,
no!
and then the other
Evan
guy
Peters.
is
Aaron,
something or other. Your man.
yeah, kick ass.
Also in Bullet Train as well. He's very good.
Mm.
Very good at a lot of things actually. Kingsman.
I love Kingsman.
Mm.
Are we going to talk about the big rabbit at the end of She-Hulk
Oh my god.
or the big elephant? Kevin himself.
Kevin. And
Do
is
you
he,
know-
okay, is he part of Kang's universe? I say yes. Die down with yourself.
Yeah, okay. Well, the one thing I want to say about Kevin is I watched it very early on the morning. I was up at like 8 o'clock and I watched it, right? And they spoiled their own joke if you had captions on. Because it actually when they're talking about Kevin in the room, it's actually spelled K.E.I.V.
Oh, really?
Yeah. By the time my girlfriend came home, we were watching it together. They corrected it. Someone had obviously said to them, "You're ruining the joke,"
That's mental.
isn't it? So that's
Fair play to them for fixing it.
No
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
No idea.
there you go. But
Yeah,
yeah,
fair
I
play to
mean,
them for fixing it.
the idea is that she's supposed to know that she's in a comic book, so this is the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the real world where the MCU gets made, apparently Kevin's a robot.
Oh.
And I like that thought.
I really liked it.
It was a fun joke as well, but I also thought it was a little bit Mickey Mouse too.
No.
Nah,
it's
that's what She-Hulk does.
so it's so in theme with She-Hulk. Like this has happened. She-Hulk, as far as I remember, has beaten up her own writer before.
Oh yeah, she threatens.
She storms into whatever, but I don't know. I thought it was just a tone of it, but no, I understand.
It's
when
she
she busts out
John
of the Disney
Byrne all
Plus
the
scene.
time.
It was John Byrne, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, when she punched out of the Disney Plus screen for the first, like, oh, they're doing it! I couldn't believe it. I was so happy.
Really confused. I literally looked at the controller because that sometimes crashes. And I looked at the controller. I was like, and I looked at the sound. And I was like, did you? And then I was like, she's swinging into. And then.
And it's not right. The bit when she lands in the writers' room, and then the writers are all just kind of crap and pathetic.
Yeah. So. The ideas for I was trying to slow everything down to look at the ideas in the wall, but it's just all shite. And then
Because I always.
But the whole thing about like, what about getting in a movie? It's like no. It's like oh well.
Because as well as that, I won't say where they were going with that episode before that happened. I was like, oh, not this. And like I that's what I loved. It was like I got the feeling of not this, and then she was like, oh, not this, and I was like, yes, I agree.
It was very predictable though. There was a lot of people waiting for what was it? Obviously start up here where fucking Banner's been. But when he leaped in kind of coming out of nowhere and kind of felt like that's a bit of a cheap throw.
Yeah.
But no, I can understand now.
I did like the idea of Kiwi Farms being the bad guys. That's pretty funny.
That's great. That's great.
Very topical.
Yeah, and like they actually, what I loved was some of those comments. They actually took real comments about the series off the internet and just used them. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You're making them look like such idiots.
Exactly. The best way to fight those sort of people is to laugh at them.
I will say this.
Really liked it.
A lot of the dialogue, as a woman, some of it was very on par, on the nose of me being like, oh yeah, I could totally relate to this. I was like, this is something. I'm like, yeah, girl, get it. I was getting that kind of like, I don't know how to explain it in lad term, but yeah, it was hyped into it. Anytime I just felt like I was really pulled into it like that, and I thought it was very good. I even said to myself, I was like, this shit is very good. Like, it's just really relatable women shit as well.
I have been in a situation with gamers, no one I hang around with regularly. I want to make that perfectly clear in case any of my friends are listening. I've been in a situation with gamers.
Why are you ashamed? Sorry.
When no, but what I'm about to say is not nice. I've been in a situation with gamers where they've referred to women as females and looked at them like, do you think they're aliens? And when that happened in the series, I was like, oh, holy shit. Like, this is bang on.
Like I said, like a lot of the stuff, like even in the bar afterwards when she wins the case and she's trying to be relatable, just that feeling of trying to be relatable to another woman, especially at my age, had this problem, you know what I mean? Need more friends. How did you do it when we're 5? Now I'm 35 plus and I can't even figure that out. But it was that kind of like the awkwardness. You're trying to make friends with the real like tough girl because maybe you admire her, you know what I mean? And it's just like you trying to figure out this wall, but it was so it was like, oh man, I can relate to this situation so good as a woman. So that was good.
I like it when I. Go on.
Oh, you go ahead.
All right. I've heard a couple of things about different Marvel series. I have a friend who's from Egypt, and like you're saying, that's relatable to you as a woman. My friend from Egypt said Moon Knight was just the best representation of Egypt that he'd ever seen. He knows some Pakistani Muslims, and he was there like, yeah, Miss Marvel, I can. There are elements. Yeah.
I've seen nothing but praise for that
like,
show.
All I heard about Black Panthers, Wakanda Forever. Apparently, it's supposed to blow the fucking lid off shit. I was like, shut up. It's like everyone's coming out with speechless. I was like, no other reviews, people. I have no words. I was like, somebody say something. No one's saying anything because apparently it's so speechless. I'm like.
One thing I want to add about She-Hulk is I thought the guy they cast as the sleazeball bad guy was amazing. It's been an unbelievable sleazeball dickhead.
Yes.
What was his name? Todd something, wasn't
Todd.
it? My God, I hated that man from the
He
moment I
is
saw him for the first time.
This.
He just had that face that you wanted to break.
Oh my God! It was that kind of like, God, you look wet to the touch. Like,
Yes.
like that kind of like feeling. That's what he gave off. Like not even like damp as in like sexy oily, as in like there is a stickiness to you that's questionable.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Tackiness.
I'd been just awful.
It was just he was just really gross. Let's meet in this restaurant, have a glass of wine. Just like no. What am I here for? But all
Is
in
that all
all,
we have?
I loved it. Loved the series.
Yeah.
I want more of it.
It was
I
so
don't know why
different
people
and
were
such a
giving out
breath of
about
fresh
it.
air. Oh, I do.
I don't.
I know exactly why people were giving out
Because they're
about it.
fucking gatekeepers. There, I swore you.
Like
Yeah.
there's one negative aspect. The CJ's terrible.
Oh yeah. No, like obviously with what they released initially, they I don't know, had issues. I have no idea. But anyway.
Yeah, but
they
like
kinda cleaned up
there
as best
was-
they can.
Yeah, there was some clear bits that should have had a bit more work done.
Yeah.
Probably,
That's seeming to be a problem with the MCU as a whole. Is they're just
Shortcuts.
shortcuts when it comes to CGI stuff. They're like
Even in
They're-
Moonlight,
they're-
actually, that running scene across
CGI
the top
houses.
of the buildings in Egypt, and there was
they're
like
not
that
giving
man.
them they're not giving them enough time or money, but it looks good to get them really nicely touched up.
Yeah,
But
so that's, I kind of worry about that as well. Like, I get that Disney's a big company and all, and we're rocking
that appears to be a Disney thing in
Star
general
Wars.
because it's the same as
But if it's like
that-
another kind of below studio that's a studio, and you just need to pump it fucking out.
because even the Mandalorian, the Luke Skywalker stuff, I love it because of what it is. It doesn't look great.
Still should have got your man Sebastian Stan in. Would have been a way better fit. That was my opinion. Not his CGI penis. Well, it's just strange. But anyway, I'll never look at the Winter Soldier the right way again ever since I've seen that Pam thing.
I think I'm behind on something.
Luke Skywalker. I think he'd be goofy. He has the structure for it.
Oh God, I didn't know what you're talking about. He would actually. You're right. He has the face
Winter
to be a Luke
Soldier.
Skywalker. Yeah, they'll never. I know who Sebastian Stan is. I didn't put two and two together. What you were saying. I get no.
Not
Yeah,
his-
he has a
not
look
his
for Luke
penis,
Skywalker.
That's why I had to
They'll-
make it very clear. That's the
They'll
confusing
never
part.
recast. They'll never recast one of those actors again after Solo.
Don't think
Solo
so.
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
disaster.
Sure.
Didn't deserve to be. Solo was a pretty good film,
It's actually not bad if you actually sit down and watch it. I'd agree.
Yeah. but yeah, it was a disaster for them. They'll never recast one after that. Are we? Is that all we have to talk about She-Hulk?
Shulk. I think so. What else is on the agenda, boys? Can we talk?
Let's go
about
back over the aisle again.
And
Somebody here's seen Black Adam.
so yeah, we're just calling out spoiler. Where's the button? Where's the button? Hold on. Is it this one? There you go.
Brian
Okay.
wants to
Spoilers.
Brian wants to spoil this movie, and I'm all
I
for it.
personally don't care because it's gotten to the point where like they're releasing so many fucking things to this trailer.
Mm.
I can already gather what's happening anyway.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. I saw Black Adam. I almost said Black Panther. I saw Black Adam, right? And it is possibly the most average superhero film I have ever seen.
Right. Okay.
Right. And that sounds insulting, but average is kind of what DC needs. They need to like start establishing characters and
Building.
locations and building. Yeah. So that sounds like
That has
I'm
a pass. That sounds like a
yeah.
good okay. That's
yeah,
a pass, okay.
I'm giving this film a pass because like when they've tried this before, we've gotten Batman versus Superman, which is awful,
Jared
and
Leto.
Suicide. Yeah, and Jared Leto and the original cut of Justice League. So like I will take distinctly average, right? So I have a list here of
Yeah.
good things, which obviously we're going to shoot through really quick because it's not fun to talk about good things. And then I have a list of the bad things.
Yeah, triggered.
All right. Yeah. So good things, right? Special effects were really good in the combat scenes. Like Black Adam is literally just zipping around and like pushing people through walls and stuff. It's probably the best I've seen. Like someone who's like Superman or Thor or the Hulk. You know, that really fast, really strong.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, it really.
Yeah, like yeah,
whipping it. Right.
powerful. Yeah.
Kinetic.
So it's the kinetic. Yeah, that's it. Like there's a couple of dodgy moments with CGI, but that's CGI. But like by and large, it looks really good. And the character Typhoon, they do this thing like wind powers usually look pretty crap in villains in general. They do this thing where she's like doing ballet in the middle and she's kind of controlling the wind with her movements. That looked really cool, and it was a really good idea. I thought that was awesome.
Nice.
The Rock is just really likable because he's The Rock.
Yeah.
Like you can't really go wrong with him.
Yeah.
Well, except for Scorpion King, but like we'll move that to one side.
The Justice Society, I thought that was a good introduction to an idea. So you've got 2 old guys and 2 young guys, basically, in the Justice Society. The old ones are teaching the young ones exactly what the modern Justice Society should be about. Like, it's one of the first superhero films I've seen where a country gets devastated and like a regular person from that country, it's not like Wanda who's got like mad powers.
Yeah.
Like a regular person gets to like point their finger at some superheroes and go, what the f are you doing here? Look at the, oh, you took out a bad guy, you're so great. Look at this play. So it goes out of its way to do that.
Department of Damage.
Give us the scene that we should have had after Man of Steel.
Exactly. You actually get that in Black Adam for a bit, so that's really good.
That in Batman v Superman, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the only reason it's there is because so many people were mocking Man of Steel for how little of it there was there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were many things to mock Man of Steel about.
And if Man of Steel 2 is going to be coming.
Probably.
No, it's happening. It's happening. Go on, anyway. Sorry.
So anyway, next one. So a lot of people. So Carter Hall, Hawkman, has this thing in the film where he's like, heroes don't kill people. People who do what we do not kill people. And some people were annoyed by that because it is old-fashioned. But Carter Hall is the immortal soul of someone from a couple of 100 years ago, and he's supposed to be this intractable right-wing hero guy. So I thought that was a really good. He was a good Hawkman, if you know what I mean. Like he's not likable, but he is a good Hawkman type of thing. So I thought that was good. And,
I don't think Hawkman has ever been likable.
I
don't think Hawkman has ever been likable.
No, he's not supposed to be likable. He's supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to be up for Green Arrow who's slagging him.
Yeah.
yeah, you know. So, and the last one. So here's the big spoiler. Yeah, Henry Cavill is in it right at the end. For a couple of seconds. There's a deliberate thing in there, I think, where they used the John Williams theme, not the oh god.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, the other theme, which is really good too, to be fair. But they're deliberately like, yeah, we're rebooting this Superman. I think that's what they're.
This isn't Snyder's Superman.
See, this is the problem I have, right?
Oh, this is the best news I've ever heard.
I hope it's a salvation for them at this stage, because I don't know what's happening over there.
And the way the Superman behaves, I quite liked as well, because he's there like, we need to have a talk about your behavior. He's not coming in going, I'm going to kick your ass from here to Saturn and back. Do you know what I mean? He's there like, Black Adam, we need to have a talk about how you're going to go forward.
Oh, so he is
which is
have that Christian, Christopher kind of
Reeve,
good person, symbol of hope.
Yeah, so
he
they
improves every situation just by being there.
In there, yeah. So they may fall out, and I like. Listen, we had this conversation where, and so far we've been correct, where The Rock is deliberately building a wrestling angle with himself as the heel, and so far it looks like we're correct. If you know what I mean.
He's quite good at this.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, and he seems to have some amount of creative control.
Yeah.
Because like it was so like they build up this character, and then they introduce the one character who can stop him. Even if they're being friendly right now.
It's two of the most powerful lads with two distinct,
personalities.
Similar, distinctive powers as well.
Yeah, different. Like,
but just different, but both powerful.
So, okay, so I've got one point which is neither positive nor negative, but I think it's really interesting. Right, so you've got Black Adam. The bad guy in this film is Sabbac, right?
Yeah.
So Black Adam is like a doppelganger character of Shazam, of Captain Marvel, right?
Yes.
Sabbac is like the darker doppelganger character of Captain Marvel. Right. So this is what we have here. I haven't decided whether it's either Luigi versus Wario, or if it's Wario versus Waluigi.
I want the one that involves Waluigi.
Okay, so this is Wario versus Waluigi.
Sam,
It's a reflection of a
is
reflection.
Waluigi in my
The
opinion.
analogy that has
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
used to really understand this. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sabac's too crap to be either Wario or like anyone better than Waluigi.
And he is crap. And he shows up in the last 10 minutes of the film.
Oh,
It's Doomsday all over again.
no.
Yeah.
Stop. No.
Do not give a crap. I kind of gave a crap when he was fighting the Justice Society. That was kind of interesting. Sabak turns up at the end, and they're like, "I do not give
Care.
a
Couldn't
shit
care
about
less.
this character." Yeah, and he's gone. Like,
Does he?
he's not.
Does he become the big red demon with the pentagram
Yeah.
on his chest?
He does. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
so at
that's
least the
actually
character
kinda-
design's cool. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
Now move.
didn't think they did the pentagram.
yeah, no, they did. Yeah.
Cool.
So
So many
move.
complaints is gonna happen.
Here we go. Here's the stuff that I didn't like or found hilarious, or oh my god, did you actually do this? Like,
Alright,
so,
okay.
so basically, this is probably the most unoriginal superhero film I have ever seen. Right, so much of it is just like when I realized what the logic that they were taking in what they were copying, I was there like, did you read? Is that the reason you did this? Right. And also, this film thinks it's in the 1990s, and I don't
I
mean
was
like
gonna
it's
ask
set in the,
that.
not set in the 1990s.
But as
like-
if it's creative mind-wise
Yeah.
is in a night.
Yeah.
I knew it. I
Oh,
said it to him.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
it.
you were right. You were right. Right. So first of all, right, everyone's there like, wow, this hero is so grim and dark. Like this is the first time the world has seen a Batman. Right. Like it's like, guys, we've moved on. Like, and so Black Adam, he's not. Like if an innocent person is about to die, and they establish this within 2 minutes of him appearing, there's a rock about to fall on an innocent, and he just lightnings it. So he's there like, this guy is already an anti-hero. He's killing the bad guys with guns only, right? So he's the same as Iron Man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is also arguably an anti-hero. He's not, Iron Man has personality
He's
traits.
not heroic by nature.
Yeah, not heroic by nature, more by circumstance. But he's not also a bad guy, So like, but everyone's like, wow, you're so dark and grim, and your costume turns black because you're dark and grim, unlike other guys who wear that costume. Like that's the thing in it.
Do you have badly drawn feet?
Yeah, yeah. So, right. But that's pretty 90s. But the next one, this one, he has a teenage sidekick. The teenage sidekick goes around everywhere on a skateboard, and he and he teaches him how to do like, oh, you need a catchphrase, bro. And
Who is
No
sitting in
way.
these boardrooms? Who?
I know.
Who
I know.
is sitting in these boardrooms, Brian?
All right. So this is where we transition from this film thinks it's in the 90s to this film has no ideas at all.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
okay. So this film has a master of the mystic arts, right?
Yep.
Yep. So
has a good-
he
he
of
has a
course
gold helmet.
he has a frenemy who's insanely wealthy, has tons of metal-based technology, and in this film he sees all of the possible futures that they have fighting against this bad guy, and he sees
fuck off.
only one, and this
I'll get
friend
my
dies. Yeah, right.
They
This is just
literally
like,
just ripped off Egg.
No.
yeah.
No.
I mean,
No.
exactly the same.
No.
That's a bit overly blatant.
Overly
Yeah.
blatant. There's also like, I mean, when they're showing his different, like, oh, he's got different magic things. His
What
go-to
he
is
called?
creating.
Copper Man or something like
Yeah.
that. Or...
Well, he's Hawkman, but he's insanely wealthy, and he has a giant, like his armor's made of Ent metal, which is, he kind of might as well be Iron Man in a way. Like it's technology. Hawkman stuff is all technology in this, which sometimes he is in the comics, but anyway, it's not the
So
point.
are they going for are they going for the mortal Hawkman or the alien Hawkman?
They don't go into it.
Oh, okay, so he's one of them.
He's Carter Hall, so I think immortal. Like, yeah. And another thing with Dr. Fate, like, you know when you've got magic, like the thing I like
You know when you have magic,
Yeah.
all the time.
with Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, the bit I really loved is the music fight scene because it's magic.
Oh yeah.
Don't just do force beams, do weird visual representation stuff. The best they can manage in this is that Dr. Fate can clone himself loads of times, which we've already seen from Doctor Strange, as well as all this other stuff.
So it's not Ankh-based offense.
I don't think there's any Ankh-based offense. There's
That's
lots
like
of
his whole thing.
yellow crystal-y stuff going on.
Oh come on.
But yeah, so okay.
Wait, there's more? Oh god.
There. There's about five more.
Is Pierce Brosnan good?
He's best thing in it.
Yay! Pierce Brosnan.
Imo. He's hamming it up, but you know it's fun. There is a sky beam in the last third of the film, so you know the thing that Marvel got stick about, so they stopped doing that every.
It feels like they threw the first like 15, 20 Marvel movies into a blender and like poured it out.
You know, like the AI
And then
generator for
added some
images?
dark food coloring.
This is what's happening in the universe of movies right now.
So like we're starting to get to the really big ones now here. Like so the character Atom Smasher, if you don't know, like his ability is to change size, right? So this character has to be really funny because he's Ant-Man, who is funny, right? And he eats all the time. You know the way Ant-Man's most famous scene is when he's sitting in the Avengers trying to eat a taco or something. I forget exactly what it is.
As well,
Yeah. So Atom Smasher's always eating when you see him, and also he pulls on the mask, and it's just Deadpool's mask.
Oh, for God's sake!
Well, they literally just took two funny characters and just like
make love to each other.
Yeah.
I did see the Atom Smasher mask.
Yeah. So this film stars a wrestler, right? So they needed a kind of. There's this thing about a rebellion starting in Kandak, and we're all going to join together and actually fight zombies at the end. Zombies show up in the last 2 minutes. Just show up. No real reason. So the people of Kandak rise to fight them, but their sign is to do this. So they're all like worshipping DDP.
What the hell?
That's the sign of the rebellion. Like,
oh no anymore.
Like so. The main character in this film is a wrestler. There's no way The Rock didn't go.
The Rock, I feel like The Rock thought of this.
Yeah. So.
I got everyone to do this one gesture. Does it mean anything? No.
Yeah. So here's the last one, right? And this is like, when I realized this, I was there like, yeah, these guys just really have no idea. So The Rock is a wrestler playing a bald, superhumanly powerful being whose child has been killed. So the humor they get from him is that he often fails to understand metaphors.
Ah, fuck off.
Yeah, he's Drax. Like,
they just copied Drax.
They just copied Drax.
The Rock should be better than this.
Yeah. Now, as I said, like I'm going in on this because it's funny, but it's actually not that.
And that's annoying.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is. Like, I mean, there's nothing original in it. Not one thing.
Yeah,
and maybe,
I was saying, it feels like they took the first 20 Marvel movies, blended them, added dark
AI
food coloring, and then
just
just poured it out into the mold of Black Adam.
Yeah.
Plot twist. Kevin the Machine. It's real. They robbed it.
Yeah. The one other thing, the one other big criticism I have for this film, which is a real head scratcher, and this might not be the filmmaker's fault, but right. So, from the trailers, we all know Rock's son gets killed, he loses his head and becomes Black Adam, blah, 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 blah. Right, in the film, they spend about 50 minutes going, like, what's up with Black Adam? Why is he so upset? And at about the 50-minute mark, you find out that his kid got killed.
Oh, come on!
It's in the trailers!
That's just a thing that happens occasionally, alright. Yeah.
I know, but like, when there isn't much else to hang your hat on in this film.
Yeah.
And, you know, like...
I don't even have a hat. Like, come on, you like see this is the. I complain about this all the time.
In conclusion, the writers let this film down, I think.
Ah, shite.
But what you're saying is, it is kind of the passable movie that DC needed to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, which it seems
It's
to have
not a-
done. It bombed the critics, but like users have liked it.
Well, it's like it. You turn your brain off. This really powerful being is smashing the shit out of bad guys, and it's fun.
And it's The Rock.
Yeah, and it's The Rock, and he's being funny.
Let's be honest, this is cheap FPS. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, it's a cheap and nasty FPS, but you like it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
one of
does
those games that
exactly
used to
what
cost
you
30
want,
quid.
Doesn't cost you too much money, and you're able to have a good time with your friends for at least a month with it until you get bored.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the Queen Man.
yeah.
Sure. Like it's still
And nobody but me likes.
Exactly. That's why it doesn't last very long. That's exactly
Resistance
what
2
I'm
for me. I loved Resistance 2. I knew exactly.
It's good actually.
Yeah, but Resistance 2, I knew one other person that played it. Like,
Was Resistance 2 the one that had the... No, it wasn't. It was the other Sony Killzone 2 with the bad
Killzone.
flavor.
Well, there you go. There's another one.
yeah. Resistance 2 was kind of like a proto Destiny. Like it had like a 6-player mode where you could.
Killing Floor. There you go.
Mm.
All you're doing is just blasting dead guys, trying to get to 1.4.
Killing Floor was pretty good.
Killing Floor is a very good game, and it's cheap, and it's cross-platform, so it appeals to all people's talent.
But anyway, that's me done.
That is upsetting to hear all of this. I'm glad you spoiled it for me because I really did not
Yeah.
want to waste my time going out going like, fuck that.
That being said, I mean, this is a platform to start. It's supposed to kick off the new version of the DCEU.
And our lads, our one, should I say, Ezra Miller, is sent out an apology
Facing-
not long ago, saying like, I realised my behaviours. Let me clean up my act, because they're literally going like, you know what? If you don't get your shit together, there is no flashpoint. Fuck off.
No, I don't think there's Flashpoint. I think they're saying he is like maybe getting 20 years in prison.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's I
I
think
haven't
that
updated in a couple of months. What's the latest update on porn?
just when all
Porn
the
bills?
charges were put against him, it adds up pretty badly on him.
What are you doing? Like the same thing with Kanye West. Where are people out here letting their people go mad?
Mhm.
Well, like there's someone has to.
Where's the
love
PR
you.
people?
Where,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
where's your PR people? Where's the person that loves you and be like, yo, we need to fucking sit you down? Like, has everybody just gave up?
Yeah.
It's
Marvel
that
seems
problem.
to have managed it with Letitia Wright, like, because she was saying some problematic shit between the Black Panther 1 and 2, and that's all stopped.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that shit got
Yeah.
nipped in the butt.
Yeah.
Like,
It
this
seems like
bitch, you don't get your shit
there's a
together.
certain type of famous person that has never been told no and doesn't want to hear it.
But
Nope.
like, we're in 2022, social media's everywhere. This shit
Oh, yeah.
gets round now, you know, like you're not getting away with it the way
Yep.
you used to.
I had a weird
Yeah.
conversation there about I'm not gonna name names, but there was a 12-year-old involved. It's a family member. They got into trouble, right, for saying stupid things, basically being 12, right? And me and my other cousin, the same age as me, I was like, you know, in our day it was all done on paper, but I don't even think they have paper trails anymore because after 7 years it's destroyed. However, darling, you live in the digital age, and what does, you know, Scarlett Johansson's beautiful Black Widow always say? You know, it's a bit slippy when it comes to data, isn't it? That shit multiplies. And she was like,
Hard to
I was
get
like,
rid of.
people can share and copy and save. Like, if it's wrote down on a piece of paper back in our day, it's probably long gone by now. That's probably like, like it's been 20 plus years since I was in primary school. So, you live in this world, it's digital, it's everywhere. Like, it doesn't just stick and go away.
Yeah, I feel real bad for Michael Keaton.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, yeah.
Same.
Like, I feel super bad because it really does seem like that film's never going to come out.
It does. And he was so
I feel
excited
real
about
bad.
getting back in the suit.
He was super happy to be back being
He's like,
Batman,
the
and I
suit's so
feel
fit.
real
I
bad
was
for him.
like, you deserve to be the Batman forever. You know what we need to see? If they want to start taking shit from Marvel,
Definitely not Batman Forever.
several different Batmans. I don't know what story is with Val Kilmer, God bless him, but like, I'm sure, like, because his son did voice acting for Tom Cruise's Maverick as well. Because his voice and his dad's
Yeah.
similar. So I was like, maybe we can get the old man back in the suit.
I would,
Bless him. We love you, Val.
as much as it's the worst idea in the world, getting to see George Clooney back as Batman for like just a minute,
Him,
I would find
Michael
it. I would find it
Keaton,
very funny.
our lad Ben, right? Think about just even three. We can go 4. We can. Oh, we can't. Keep forgetting our other guys can't do. Stop taking people away.
As much as it's real fun to clown in his stupid voice, Christian Bale should not be forgotten.
Well, yeah, I forgot about Christian Bale. Forgot about him. I was going to say Adam West, and I was like, wait, no.
No, he's gone now.
He's gone now. But like, still, yeah.
I watched a few episodes of that of his show recently. The Adam West Batman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
I hope
Frank Gorshin's Riddler is one of the greatest
so good.
characters that's ever. He's so good at that, at the Riddler. It's incredible. He's just like bouncing off the walls at all times. He's so animated. Oh,
No wonder where Jim Carrey probably got his inspiration as well.
absolutely, like absolutely. But yeah, that I still find people that like don't understand that show. That show is so goddamn funny, and they all knew it. Everyone's like, "Oh no, they thought they were making this super serious." No, they knew they were making a camp comedy. It's so good.
Well, I don't understand.
It was the 60s.
It was in repeats when I was a kid, so like early 80s. So I can remember watching it as like a 4, 5, 6-year-old and getting that this is not serious.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was usually
Like how?
on a Sunday morning on repeat.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, people look back and people like there's such a real negative stereotype or a negative stigma to that show. It was like, oh, that was the weird 60s goofy Batman. That's one of the best written comedy shows I've ever watched. It's
So good.
hysterical.
So good.
Yeah.
I think
Genuinely.
people attach it with the end of the kind of the golden into the bronze age. I'm getting my ages wrong, am I? No, it is. It's silver into bronze age, when the Superman comics were just like really stupid situation into really stupid situation. And then it was a Denny O'Neil. See, everyone gives Frank Miller the props for darkifying him again, but I think it was Denny O'Neil who started it in the comics. Right.
It was
So,
it wasn't a Camp 2 ultra realistic Die Hard Batman
there was a
overnight.
slide, like
Yeah.
And I think that in the modern age, like the appreciation of pre Denny O'Neil has just because
Doesn't
everyone
exist.
says, "Oh, Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns, that's Batman." You know, there's no acceptance of any other version pre that. But
this is
like,
the gatekeeping we talk about all the time.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
please, the expression, people. Let's like try different things once in a while.
Yeah, and like it's not that well. See, I wasn't around in the '60s. I don't know. I don't think that series probably did that much damage to band. Fuck.
Is he cutting in now for you?
A little bit.
Oh, there you go. You're back now. Say it again.
This is
It's that whereby man is biting us back in the
where
ass.
buys.
Oh, that's annoying.
See if you refresh yourself, mate.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I didn't have anything too important to say anyway.
Oh, there we
you're
go.
back in sync,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
back
yeah.
in sync now. Perfect.
I was actually going to ask
Yeah.
you, has anyone ever seen Grant Morrison explaining Batman and how he works in every version of Batman is the one character, and he talks about how
No, that sounds
Oh.
great though.
yeah, it was like it starts off and it's real dark vigilante Batman, and that's all, and then he realizes he's a bit too extreme and he adopts a child and gets a ward in, and then it gets to the 60s and everyone gets real dosed up on the drugs the Joker's putting into everyone. It gets super weird. And then you get to like the 70s and it's like hairy chested Batman like banging
God.
Talia, and then it gets to like the 90s and it's Warzone Batman, and he's like it's all this one journey of the one character, and it's incredible. It's like a couple of minute video. I'll send it to you. It's amazing.
Do. I want to see that.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Oh god, I love Grant Morrison so much.
Should marry him then.
Oh, I would have could have.
So what's the thing about home Marvel Snap? I know that my mate Raj is into it. Do you want to
Okay.
talk about that? Go on.
So I really like card games. I play basically every card game I've been able to. Marvel Snap it's not the deepest card game I've ever played, but it is by far the best value free-to-play game I've ever seen.
Have you paid for anything though in it?
I bought the Battle Pass or the Season Pass.
Okay.
And only because I want to give them money.
Okay.
It is completely free-to-playable. Doesn't feel predatory at all.
We're not sponsored by them.
No,
we're just talking about the app.
Would take a sponsorship.
We would love it. Contact me. I will be able to have a quick word with you.
So, just as a quick, the whole game works, and there's 3 locations. The game works with 6 turns. You play cards every turn, and on the 6th turn, all of your cards fight each other. There's 3 locations. They randomly appear, and like they're based on like the Baxter building. And there's like different places. There's a danger room. The danger room makes all your cards take damage when you put them there. Things like that. And they're random. And you have an energy system. Your cards are worth between 1 and 6 energy, and you get 1 energy in turn 1 and 6 energy in turn 6, and it's in between. And it's a real cool little game. There's certain things like if you play Mr. Fantastic in the middle column, he stretch arms and punches the other 2 columns and puts their power up as well.
Oh, that's cool. I like the animation for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's really cool animation. Regenerating characters tend to have the ability that if they're destroyed in your hand, they get played for free on the field, like Sabretooth and Wolverine. Uncle Ben, if he gets killed, becomes Spider-Man.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
It's amazing. So it feels really cool, and how it works is you cannot buy cards. You can buy variants of your cards, which are cool art. All the art is taken from comic books.
So
There's
it's
no
all just aesthetics.
Yeah, it's all aesthetics. All that you can pay for is aesthetics. So how it works is you have a collection level, and every 2 levels in your collection level, you unlock a new card randomly out of the pool.
Okay.
Once you get to like level 224, you get to pull 2, and then you get a card every 4 levels, and that goes to like level 400. How you upgrade your collection level is every game you play, you unlock boosters, and those boosters are used to make your cards look prettier. So at level 1, the art gets stretched out and it breaks the borders of the card. And level 2, it gets kind of 3D. Level 3, the name of the character gets like turned into the comic book style of how their names are written. And every time you upgrade your card, you get more collection level. So there's no way to pay for this. You have to play to get boosters. You can't whale to unlock new cards. Yeah, you can only whale for variants. And some really cool variants. And you also unlock variants from playing. I have a really good I have a Pixel Punisher card that's really funny looking. I have like a art from, do you remember Marvel Adventures? The comic, the kids comic.
Oh, yeah.
I have a Hawkeye that has the art style from that, and that's like my favorite looking card in the game so far. It's class. And it's just like Hawkeye's a real like Hawkeye. If you support him with a character in the next round, gets extra strength. Like they do an Ant-Man. If he's in a room full of people, gets extra abilities. They found real nice ways to bring the feel of these characters into these cards.
Does it feel like well thought out with the mechanics of the characters as well?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Like Hulk is just the biggest and strongest character. Like he has no abilities. He's a 6'12", and the strongest 5 character is Abomination. And like these vanillas seem useless, and then you unlock Patriot, and Patriot makes all cards with abilities stronger. And it just opens up. There's some real good strategies. There's like there's some strategies, some characters move cards and that can make them more powerful. I like using Onslaught. Onslaught just, if you play him in the turn, reactivates every ability that's been played before him, and that can be a ludicrous amount of power. What else do I have to say about this? Yeah, it's good.
Should Onslaught not just remove all the Avengers characters from the board altogether and put them in another game? Like
the Destroyer does that. The Destroyer does that.
Destroyer does that.
Destroyer. Oh, I got the Harkness plays for you.
Oh,
Really?
The Agatha card always starts in your opening hand and plays for you. And if
Like
she gets,
that.
it's great.
But in terms of somebody who hasn't played the game before, do you think, like, for someone who isn't averse to these kind of card games, do you think they'll be able to learn it quickly?
It's super easy to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah, super easy to pick up. And what they do is it's a 12 card deck, and that makes it so much easier to get your mind around it. It also means your strategies are way more consistent because you're seeing your cards at least one of every two games if you're running like a 1 to 6 curve. Yeah, it's super easy to pick up, I think. I think there's a couple of really fun cards. I love the Agatha Harkness thing's amazing.
I like that. First, it's just like, I'll play.
Carnage eats everyone in the area when you put him down, and he gets stronger depending on how many people he eats.
Ooh.
And like there's like all of these have like a little, like it's only a tiny little animation, but they're all like really cute animations.
So it's a well thought out app for like Marvel did release it, so it's well thought out. Then would you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, I think it's the least predatory free to play game I've ever seen. I really appreciate what they've done here.
I haven't downloaded it. I was talking to Roger, and he was explaining the exact same passion as you were explaining it right now. And I'm like, maybe we're gonna have to download this.
Yeah, I'm passionate about it because I don't feel like it trying to rob all my money from me.
But like, be honest with the situation. That's kind of like where we're living right now. Mostly everything's made up of subscriptions and
Yeah.
you know. So kind of not feeling like you're getting fleeced out of it from like the game. You just want to like just mull on for a little bit and then kind of put it down. That's all that everyone really needs, and everything else should be just aesthetics. You know what I mean? If you're paying for shit, it's just skins.
And even the battle pass. The battle pass is Spider-Man based. You unlock Miles Morales when you pay for it, and you get Spider-Woman through it as well. You get them, but you get them as variants. And if you don't buy the battle pass, you still get these cards by playing normally.
So the battle pass doesn't really affect. That's good.
Like, yeah, the battle pass gives you a lot of currency. It gives you variant cards, but it doesn't. You do not need to pay for the battle pass to have the strongest deck in the game.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. It's cool. But the Watcher, if you have the Watcher in your deck, it allows you to see what the random areas that are going to be uncovered is going to be before they come out. Quicksilver is a 1-cost card that starts in your hand no matter what. They've done good little things of keeping like the nature of the character, the feeling of how these characters should be. And I think that's all I have to say about that.
Just to see like what people are saying, like just like weird things. One guy title's like impressed 4 stars, but his caption is it cracks you down, don't play. Like,
yeah,
it's a bit
Android store reviews there.
It's a bit pay to win. Why €20 for one skin? The skin doesn't make you stronger, babe.
Yeah, the skin doesn't make you stronger at all.
Like there's a reason
Some of the
some
some of the variant cards are quite expensive, but also the variants are bought with gold, which you can pay for. But you also get gold through leveling up, like getting through. You get gold by doing your weekly challenges. Like it's nothing's locked off to you.
So only this would last like one day. So guy was like, not worth time, another crap card building game. Just give it out. Playing against bots. And the developer actually responded back 12 hours ago. So we hope you enjoy the game. We're eager to know your thoughts and ideas. And if you have any suggestions, just contact us on Facebook. Blah, blah, blah. Like, at least the devs are reading it. Like, that's a huge difference. Like, they could just spy out anything and not give a shit. But like, the devs are responding.
I put a few of my thoughts about the game on Twitter, and the guy who like the creator of the game liked it.
I'll download it.
Also, that guy's had some track record. First Hearthstone and now this.
Oh yeah.
What a record.
What a ride.
Okay.
But no, I look forward to like seeing how we get on. And can you swap cards or any like no trading allowed?
With no trading, no. because it's very regimented how you unlock them, because that's the way it is. Because yeah, by the time you get to level at 224, whatever, that means you have like the entirety of Pool 1 unlocked, and you can make a lot of stuff with like Pool 1. Namor is really strong if he's fighting on his own, and if anyone else is with him, he's crap. Which I think is really funny.
1.9 gigs if you continue to play and collect assets. So it takes up to 2 gigs of memory for this game.
Yeah, that's a mobile game now most of the time.
Holy shit.
The Yu-Gi-Oh game I
can
play
only
is like
afford
6 gigs.
250 in a cloud space at maximum. Shut up.
The Yu-Gi-Oh card game I have on my phone is like 6
Am I
gigs.
over 13 or am I under 13? Is it feet?
I think that's a you question.
It's a very loaded question. Okay, I'm 13 and over. Okay, cool. Right, I'll mull through this and see.
I hope you enjoy it.
Sign in with Apple.
They've been doing a good job as well of marketing this game. A lot of I watch a lot of different card game streamers, and they all seem to have had some sort of Marvel Snap sponsored stream in the past month.
I've seen it all over the place of things that I'm watching too. So why is it saying I'm going into a match? I'm not ready to fight against Nick Fury. No,
It's scripted. If you it's not against a real person. It's scripted. If when you go back into
Oh,
the
it's
fine.
just showing it a tutorial. Okay.
Yeah, it's a tutorial.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Doctor Doom versus Nick Fury, the real battle of the Titans.
Scam.
So
You want me to move my finger? I will refuse. Sleep phone.
I'm trying to remember what else did we say we had to talk about today?
I think we covered a lot of things. Except I
Yeah,
didn't mention Thor: Love and Thunder, but I think we already covered that. Last
We did
time.
talk about that. Yeah, that was the last episode we had,
Literally
wasn't
when
it?
I opened it up, it was still there, and I was like, I think we already covered that.
Yeah, the dark fight. I still think about from time to time.
It's a beautiful fight, I have to say.
Yeah,
Just
really.
just aesthetically beautiful choreography of it, how everything just came together from the light going in, the color, and the shadow there.
Do you just want to talk about Kevin Bacon for a second?
Oh, why the holiday special that's coming up? We should hold off. I'm not ready to talk about Christmas.
That or do you want to talk about Quantumania? I hear you have theories.
Oh my god, do I have theories? I think Scott Lang's gonna die in this.
Okay.
Because he's the only thing that doesn't make any sense. But he's like, Ant-Man, have I killed you before? I was like, you would have remembered Ant-Man out how many times you killed the Avengers. And that's like an inside joke. But they have to have someone to die. They need someone to die at this time to get some heart into this situation. Get those kids going. That's my theory right now. Film.
I really like the trailer. I think it looks like it's so weird. It looks like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
I think it's because of that. Well, where we're going, like Chronopolis. Is it Chronopolis? We haven't even got a verified name for this place yet.
I keep thinking.
Microverse, I would think.
Yeah, but in my head, I want this to be the negative zone. Like I'm just gonna say it. I just want this to be the negative zone.
You're a negative zone. No, I hear you.
Yeah,
I just
you know the laser eye beam face character.
The battery.
Yes,
head
Just
guy?
briefly. Yeah, is that a negative zone, dude? There's a lot of them. But
Yeah,
have a,
the negative zone has a long history and a lot of characters related to
And
it.
also
yeah,
Bill
exactly.
Murray.
But there was something familiar about that character, but I haven't like checked any clickbaity articles going.
No, I have no idea.
in the trailer for Quantumania. So I don't know.
I know, I have a lot, like, the only theory I have is, like, it has to be Scott Lang, it has to die, he has to be, like, some kind of, like, emotional sacrifice, because, A, who doesn't love Paul Rudd?
I'm not ready for the MCU without Paul Rudd.
I'm telling you now, it'll piss off people if he dies.
It'll piss me off. It really will.
And it'll also
Absolutely
put
love
a driving
Paul
force
Rudd.
in the movies of how to revenge, you know, my dad and shit like that.
Though, if he dies, it does mean we can get the deplorable Ant-Man at some point.
Yes, looking forward to that.
What's his
And
name?
again in the trailer,
Eddie-
remember they're running and there's like variants of himself like falling apart and running around. Eddie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a series. It is a deplorable Ant-Man, isn't it?
Irredeemable, is it?
Irredeemable Ant-Man. That's such a good
yeah,
comic series.
Eddie? I was like, why is it Eddie though?
It's a different. He's a convict who steals the Ant-Man costume.
Eric O'Grady.
Eric.
Yeah,
That was
he's-
And it's Robert. It's Kirkman. It's a
Robert
Walking
Kirkman.
Dead spin-off. Like
it's so fucking funny. It's really great.
Mm.
That was like that was coming out at the same time as that really good Iron Fist run.
Mm.
It was a good time for comics.
it was a good time for comics. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah.
That was a really good time. That was like leading up to Secret Invasion. Oh,
Good times, nostalgia.
but yeah, I don't want Paul Rudd to die.
I'm telling you now, that's my theory. He'll have to die to give some kind of drive or
No.
heart or some emotional conclusion to fucking kill Kane or Khan or whoever. But at this stage, like that's my only thing. Like, if he still survives, like I get it, we've got to go and stop this evil conquering. You know, not really sure if it's he who remains or not anymore because he's a variant and this kind of thing. The only way you keep
No,
that
this is a-
going
this-
of the
this
chase,
seems like-
you gotta let someone die, and my money's gonna be on Scott Lang.
This
Oh,
guy
he's
seems like
kind.
a
We're
conqueror.
starting a Deadpool, people. Starting a Deadpool.
Yeah, this guy seems like a conqueror.
Yeah, he's got the costume,
Uh,
the Kang the Conqueror
yeah.
costume.
He
Like,
But this
He'll
It
come
does
across
also
as a
seem like-
cut-through, you know? That's what
this
I'm
is a
looking for.
this seems very much to be the Stature origin movie.
yeah, getting that vibe. This is the start
Yeah.
of the Young Avengers right here.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I said
which
to you, it all
also,
started growing
like,
into their thing.
her realizing her powers properly because he dies is like the easiest way to write this movie.
Mhm. And isn't disassembled there a bit with, you know, when Wanda turns evil, Ant-Man dies. Like this Ant-Man, Scott Lang, dies as part of that.
And who else dies?
Grab a hole.
Hawkeye.
What?
Hawkeye and Vision. If memory serves. It's been a
Isn't
long
there a
time since I
sword?
read.
Isn't there a sword guy that dies? Black Knight.
Yeah, Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts.
Jack Harris.
Yeah.
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 If you knew there was a sword guy involved.
Yeah. And
That was
Shield
the-
gets put under for a while.
That was
Yeah.
the first comic I ever read.
I'm so old.
You're so
That was
old.
lit-
We're so
that was lit-
experienced with wisdom. Children, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like.
That's literally the first comic I ever read. Remember when Marvel released those things to like our newsagents that were like 3 issues of like different things, and it was like there's an Avengers one, there's a Spider-Man one, X-Men one. Yeah, the one that started Disassembled was the first comic I ever read.
3 in a pack.
I've also got a lot of them over the years. I got House of M issue 1 through that.
Ooh,
Hmm.
that's your beauties. Right. So for next week, we're gonna have to start looking at Wakanda Forever. Is it not out? Premiere's already out.
I don't think we'll have seen it by next. I think it's next
What
Friday
day
is the
of it,
first day you can see it.
people? We need dates. We need to understand why everyone is speechless. What is happening? here?
Wakanda Forever is going to be out the day after we record this next week.
Damn it. Okay, so that has to be on it for next week. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll definitely go see that.
Me too.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Well, internationally it's on the 9th and in the US it's the 11th.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's internationally on the 9th.
Yep.
Oh, the 9th.
What is it? Is it the Tuesday? Is it a Wednesday? Is it Friday? What are we looking at?
Will I check my cinema?
It is a Wednesday, so it's actually the day before. Removing the Thursdays, guys. Just an FYI for those who are watching. Clearly coordinated. Very.
We should talk. We should talk about that. We should do that
Should we go and talk about that?
at some point.
We can leave it for another week to talk more in depth about spoilers. But I would love to
No,
talk
it's not.
about,
It's not out here until the 11th in my cinema.
Werewolf by Night, the horror one from Marvel. I would love to talk about that next week, so that'll give you time.
Yeah.
Ado, watch
Yeah.
Oh
it.
yeah, I'll watch that.
love.
I've seen it. It's great. Happy
It's
to talk about it next week.
Happy to talk about that next week. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to try that Marvel Snap and let you know in a week what it was like for me.
I really hope you like it.
I'm not crazy about card games, but I always give them a try anyway. You know, that one game in Hearthstone that I refuse to have a rematch in. Still the champion.
What?
Also,
what?
I was going to say. Oh.
Go on. This whereby is messing us up today.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say one thing I like about Marvel Snap. Games are like 2 minutes long, 2.5 maybe. They're really fast.
I was gonna say I might do a bit of reading up on Elsa Bloodstone if we're gonna be talking about Werewolf by Night. See if we can find any funny stuff on her. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Because she's in Next Wave, so there is funny stuff on Elsa Bloodstone. That's a very funny comic. So yeah,
we'll also talk about the international reviews that come in for Wakanda Forever. Then I guess where what everyone is saying, and obviously I'm still gonna go see it anyway. That's damn for sure. Like, I need to see this in the cinema. I think we'll be fair, we'll talk about that. And we also need to add another movie on, guys.
Werewolf by Night?
That's not a movie, babe. That's not like a 50-minute series episode.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I could talk about that for an entire episode, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Especially if I was...
Go on.
Especially if I'm finding stuff on the Bloodstones, because it's not just Elsa.
I know, and I have a few
well.
I have a few rabbit hole theories of what's going on to do with you know, the super serum to make our beautiful Superman, because obviously I'm not gonna say anything because you haven't watched it. You haven't watched it, I'll go down the rabbit hole once you watch it, okay?
Spoiler, Elsa Bloodstone's in it.
I think you already got that from the trailer, maybe.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah,
she's great.
I actually didn't realize this was. I didn't. I thought that. I didn't realize this was.
A dark
I didn't realize this was MCU connected.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's what?
I didn't realize this was MCU connected.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's MCU. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying these specials that they're doing. Like, fair enough, they're doing the holiday special that we all knew coming up, but I didn't know about this one. It was very under the radar. So I'm hoping that they're going to start throwing out a little bit more, because if that's the case, then they can just build those little branches in.
Yeah,
Guys,
I do like.
It's like 17 years of MCU-ness now. Don't upset anyone with years.
It's 15, is it not? 2008.
We're in 2022.
It will be 15 then.
Oh, yeah, nearly 15 years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'll
never forget going to see Iron Man 3 times in the first week.
Yeah, I went mad for it as well, because it's just so good compared to everything else that's out at the time.
My question is, how long is the series gonna last of MCU-ness? Like, when do we stop after Kang? Is that like, that's it? We restart.
They're going to milk the blood, every bit of blood from the stone.
We're gonna be in our fucking 70s when the X-Men come out. You realize this, right? Kevin's gonna be the actual AI that you see in the She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, they're going to try and milk every bit of blood from the stone.
Mm-hmm. See what you did there.
Very nice. Nicely done.
I like it.
Right. Anything else we need to add in? Brian, where did we find you?
Was that me? Whereboy's really playing up.
Yeah,
Brian Von Doom on Twitter, as one live on Twitch. I think I'll be streaming Guilty Gear on the 12th.
Guilty Gear?
Guilty Gear?
What Octodom are you at?
I've been playing a certain demo that we're not supposed to have access to, and it is phenomenal if you're into fighting games.
Oh!
We don't talk about it. NDA.
NDA. Yeah.
Unless it's a friend DA, but like, no, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist.
I'll just say my one-frame Sonic booms are on point.
Oh, you dirty bastard!
But anyway, that won't be at the event officially. So
You're salty. I hate you. You taste a picture of my mouth. Ada, where are we gonna find you? Because we're forgetting about Brian. What are you not doing?
I don't know. Follow me on Twitter, AODHAIN616. That's all.
You're not doing anything else. No music, no scratch nurse.
Go on Facebook and look at my band. We're called Just Another Band.
Just another band.
And we've recorded our last 2 gigs and we're trying to get all those videos up.
Trying to be a superstar. Right, and we'll make sure we have the share as well. But I'm
Trying to get weddings.
This is it. I'm Auntie Tinkerbell. You can find me. You can just Google me. I'm usually live full time on the Twitch machines, TikToks, your dad's bed. No kidding. But yeah, that's where you can find me. You can find me if you really want to find me. You can find me. But yeah, we will see everyone next week. Be good.
Same podcast time, maybe not same podcast day. We'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully no one gets sick. Now good luck. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.